London celebration is over, back home, and we're gonna talk my overall experience from my first celebration in Europe. Let's go. Alright, guys, con is over now. Back home. Not gonna lie, it sucks. I miss it. It was so much fun out there, hanging out with everybody, meeting everybody out there, seeing all the cosplay, seeing all the panels, hunting down all the pins. It's just so much fun, man. So guys, this Wednesday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm gonna be doing a live stream, and it's gonna be called "The Good, the Bad" of London Celebration, where we're gonna talk our good experiences, bad experiences, and then we're also going to talk how we feel about it going to Japan to Tokyo. So be sure to join this if you're free that day. I did do it at an earlier time, just so a lot of you guys in Europe, in the UK, wherever you are in the world will be able to join as well. So this was my fourth celebration. So my first one was Orlando 2017, where I just did 2 days. Then I did Chicago 2019, did all 5 days. Anaheim 2022 did all 4 days, and now London 2023 all 4 days. One of the biggest things I wanted to see is there a huge difference between a Star Wars celebration in the States versus a Star Wars celebration in Europe, in London? And honestly, no. It's pretty much the same experience. There's good, there's bad, but the bottom line is you're meeting a bunch of people that have that same passion, that same love for Star Wars that you do, and they have that same energy. Everyone's nice, everybody's cool, everybody's down to earth. It's legit just like real fans that appreciate whether it's all of it, some of it, but they all are mutual and have mutual respect together. There's none of the stuff that you see online where there could be a lot of toxicness online in the Star Wars fandom. It's not that in Celebration. It's kind of like a safe place, which is cool no matter what you like. And me, I don't like everything, but I have respect for people that do like the things that I don't like. So it really was the same experience going there. So that was cool, and that was really interesting to see. So all you people, all you UK locals, people from all over the world, still have that same energy that we do here in the States for Star Wars. So that was really really cool, and I met so many cool people, like people from Ireland, Scotland, from Kuwait, from Sweden, from Belgium, Germany, and they all love the same stuff that I love, and it's just so cool, like that they're from so far away, places I've never been, maybe even some places I've never even heard of, and they still have that same love for Star Wars. So that's one thing I could say from my experience for sure is how it is. Now there was a lot of bad. Well, I don't want to say a lot of bad, but a lot of inconsistency. But that goes to show it's just how it is at these conventions, man. Like you can't get so mad at it because it's really the staff that they hire. It's just temp workers. You ask one person one thing, you get a certain answer. You ask a different person the same thing, you'll get a different answer. So you kind of got to learn as you go. And this is what I've learned from going to 4 different ones is to see what works and what doesn't work. Because what might work at one celebration in Chicago might not fly in Anaheim. And maybe stuff that fly to Anaheim didn't fly in London, but other stuff in London flew. So like for example, I saw people saying that when they went for their lightning speed reservation at the show store, that's supposed to be one per person. They let them in with like their girlfriend or with their boyfriend or with their wife or with their husband, when technically they weren't supposed to. So clearly, whoever was at the door checking it didn't care. And even for me, I was picking up an extra set of pins for my boy, and his total was at 210 pounds, and he wanted all three incentive pins, but they ran out of blind boxes. So I said, oh, okay, well, since I'm not at 300, I'll just take those two incentive pins since I can't get all three. And the lady was like, I'm in a good mood, and she let me get the third one. So, like, technically, I wasn't supposed to get that third incentive pin, but she let me get it and let me buy it. So, that's just one thing you got to learn if it was your first celebration and there were some things that frustrated you. It's going to happen. You got to just learn what works and what doesn't work. So, the same thing for Japan and Tokyo. Minute we get out there, in 2 years, we're gonna see what works, what doesn't work, and then you just evolve based on that to enjoy it the best that you can. Because there's no point in getting mad at things that you can't control. Because if the same thing's gonna happen in Tokyo, they're gonna be higher temp local workers. They might not get the full training. They might not care. So you have to just play the game and see what works and what doesn't work. So another thing I did when I left, I took little notes of like opportunities, things that I kind of like, man, I forgot to do this, or I should have did this instead. That way for Japan, I'm gonna make sure I take all my advice from this list. So I'm gonna go through some of it. So first one is bring my poster tube. I bought a poster tube. I didn't bring it because I brought a poster binder for my art that I was picking up, which the art fit in there. But I forgot about all the free big posters that you get. And those big free posters didn't fit in my art binder. So for sure I got to remember, bring my poster tube just in case, because I did forget, because I came home with a stack of free Lego Mando posters. And luckily they got back safe, but if I would have had my poster tube, it would have been a smoother experience coming home. Next is pick up my art on the first day. So I did pre-order 3 of the exclusive art prints. It was my first time ever doing it, and it just was so busy, so crazy every day. I didn't make it till the last day, and I kind of regretted it because the artists were so cool there. They showed so much love, and I wish I would have went earlier and spent more time with them, hung out with them more, maybe even got some of it on video too. So for Japan, definitely going to go to the Artist Alley day one to pick up my prints and just to talk it up with the artist there. Next one is kind of like for the hotel room, just buying food and snacks and water, like water bottles to have at the hotel. We kind of really didn't do that. There wasn't really any grocery stores near us, but for over there, I'm 100% sure that I'm going to make time to grab a bunch of snacks and water bottles. The main thing with the water is that way, say if you leave to go to the show, twice it happened where I was in such a rush, I didn't get to fill up my water bottle, and I'm sitting in line for the panel, in the panel, hour and a half, 2 hours in, thirsty as heck with no water. So definitely going to make sure that I have that handy. Another thing I put here was not so many panels, especially on the last day. So I know that's a big deal. Everyone was like kind of upset they didn't win panels and like wanted to try to go to like a lot of panels. And luckily we had the Jedi VIP, so we got into all the panels for the most part. But like on the last day mainly, like I spent almost 4.5 hours in panels. I literally wasted my last day in panels and didn't get to enjoy the day. So for sure in Japan, especially with it only being 3 days, I'm not going to do more than 1 panel a day. And it has to be like a good panel that's worth it, that I'm going to see something only there. Because other than that, there's so much more to do and see on the floor that I missed that I regret. Like, I'm watching other people's YouTube videos and I'm like, where was that at? Where was this at? That cosplay is awesome. So I did miss a lot. Now, I did see a lot, but like, that's one thing I'm going to keep in mind. I'm not going to do as many panels in Japan. I'm going to just try to keep it as little as possible. The next thing I got is, if I do go to those panels and you get that free poster at the end, they usually give you a ticket or a wristband, and you could usually pick it up that day, the next day, the next day. So I had wristbands for the Mando poster. I had tickets for the Return of the Jedi poster, and I was just too lazy to go. Oh, and that's one other bad thing. We'll get back to that in a minute. But I was just too lazy to go pick it up, because when you got out of the panel, you had to walk all the way across the hall to get it, and then I'd have to walk all the way back. So I just didn't, and I went on the last day, and Mando posters were gone. Return of the Jedi posters gone. So I lost out on that. But that was one thing about London that I didn't like that they did, is for the posters and stuff, you had to go across the entire convention center to the other side to pick it up, through the middle of the aisle of the floor in the middle of the day, which is ridiculous. In Anaheim, as soon as you got out of the panel, they passed you your poster and they filtered you outside, not back into the convention center. They filtered you outside to like kind of relieve the traffic, which was smart. But in London, the 4,500 people from the celebration stage all went out one door, right into the middle, right into everything. And that was a terrible experience. So like each day from like noon to 1 when those panels got out, you do not want to be in that middle aisle. It was terrible. Another thing I wanted to do was take more pictures. So I took a lot of videos, but I want to just take more just still pictures of people, because so many amazing cosplays that were there, and I got parts of it in the video, but I want to get them to pose, get a nice picture. So I'm definitely going to take a lot more still pictures in Japan. So that was pretty much it for the most part, of things that I noticed that like, hey, this could have been better. So I'm going to plan that for Japan. So that's pretty much my experience. I still had a blast. I mean, since I've been to a couple, I kind of knew that sometimes things are going to work, things aren't going to work. So I already knew that from the beginning. Like even, man, and I was so nice to the lady, but if I didn't know, if I didn't know what I knew, I might have been rude and more upset. But we went in very first day, Celebration store, and I'm trying to complete the pin set. So there's 7 different 3-packs of pins. So I was like, I'll take 1 of each. And she was trying to tell me that you could only get 2. And I'm like, and I was like, do you mean 2 of each of the packs? And she was like, no, two 3-packs total. And I'm like, how is that possible? Online for the Jedi VIP, I could have pre-ordered all of them for pickup, but you're telling me here in person I could only get 2 total? And I was like, I think you mean 2 of each. And she was very confused. So while she's telling me this, the lady next to me is ringing up a guy for every single pin pack. So I'm like, look right there, like he's getting it. Like, what do you mean? So then she asked her, she went and asked this guy, she asked this guy told her something different, They both came back with different it was a mess, but they ended up figuring out, and I got 1 of each, which is how it was supposed to be. But you will see stuff like that, and you can't stress it. You gotta just learn what works and what doesn't work. So comment down below what your favorite part of Celebration was, and then comment what your least favorite part was. And for me, my least favorite was just the Excel Center, the way it was set up. Like, it could have been set up a lot better. Like I mentioned before with the panels, they could have had the traffic flowing in a different direction, not into the middle. And like even the queue hall where everyone was queuing up, like that was a massive area. That should have been the entire exhibit hall floor on one side, instead of it having split up onto 2 little sides. It just, the layout was really, really weird. So I know Anaheim's layout was a lot better. Chicago probably had the best layout that I've seen from the 4 that I've been to, because Chicago's, the McCormick place, I think it's called, McCormick Center, was massive, huge. So it's going to be interesting to see. Oh, actually, it's going to be interesting to see Tokyo, Japan. And I believe it's the same place that had 2008 Celebration. So now I got to do my research and watch some YouTube videos from 2008, if there's any on there from there, to kind of get an idea of the layout and see what it looks like inside of there. So yeah, so that's my overall experience. I mean, I was there for a week, so not even a week, 6 days. So we spent 2 days sightseeing around London, and those 2 days were just rushed because we were just bouncing around trying to do everything and see everything. And we definitely squeezed way too much into those 2 days versus like enjoying it and savoring it. So for Tokyo, I'm definitely not doing that. I'm going to really spread things out so I could genuinely enjoy each of the days up to the show. And then, yeah, we'll go from there. So, love London, love the UK. Glad that I met a lot of you guys out there. Appreciate everyone that said hello. Appreciate all the new subscribers that subscribed. And appreciate all the new channel members that joined the channel. So, be sure to join that live stream this Wednesday. It'll be fun talking to you guys in real time. And then pretty soon I'll be doing a Japan video going over a few things that I've been researching and a couple minor tips and tricks to think about and focus on now until we get more details later. Because it is 2 years out, but there is 2 things you guys should start thinking about and planning right now. And that'll be in a video later this week. So if you guys enjoyed this video, drop a like. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you.